Finally, BYU put some pants on.
This is gonna be the best day ever. This is gonna be the best day ever. Wake up.
And not only do I think that they should read the Musket-Fire speech, I think they should read every single disingenuous analysis thereof.
But even if they were, it wouldn't matter. Your worth is eternal.
Sorry, no more heckler's veto. If that's all Shane Reese has to do.
In order to make their students feel more like they belong, Carden, there's a little photograph we have of the student of the big quad outside at University of Utah.
University of Utah?
Where they just erected the statue of Equalagon, God of Equity.
The following is an episode of WardRadio and does not represent the thoughts or the opinions of KHTS, its owners, or any of its affiliates, nor does it represent the official opinion of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. With that said, sit back, relax, and enjoy the program.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Ward Radio. I'm your host, Cardinal. Today I'm joined in the studio via Zoom by none other than Jonah Barnes, the Associate Professor of all things apocryphal, who's going to analyze today with us a really interesting article that just popped up on our feed today. Apparently, BYU now requires incoming students to read the controversial Musket-Fire speech, and it's causing quite a stir. I have to tell you, finally, BYU put some pants on, and this new Reese guy, if the buck with this stops with him, he officially gets his based certificate. And not only do I think that they should read the Musket-Fire speech, I think they should read every single disingenuous analysis thereof. They should watch our episode on this, and they should read every single woke scold anti-Mormons complaint about its controversy, just so they see how completely disingenuous all of these people are, and we breed a generation of folks that aren't just pushed around by cry bullies who understand the formula is, I don't like it, therefore I just have to shake in my boots and call it racist or call it homophobic. So yes, BYU now requires incoming students to read the controversial Musket-Fire speech. We're going to read this article. We're going to react to it, but I'm sorry, I got a little impassioned there. But I got to tell you, this new cat, Reese, is doing 10 times better than that old puppy dog that we had before, if this was his decision. Now, if it wasn't, he should just claim credit anyway. We should all still go read all the disingenuous articles. But Jonah, you're the one that brought this to my attention. Please tell us what's going on, and we'll go over this thing together. Jonah Barnes, what do you think? Go.
Well, okay, so in the Discord, the most recent thing I posted in the Discord is a little picture, the most recent thing, a picture of former President Kevin J. Worthen. This is President Kevin J. Worthen actually showing woke hordes the secret passage into BYU.
Oh, you're a savage.
Is what we see right here. He's actually showing them the goat paths that lead them into BYU. President Worthen.
Poor guy.
What a shame to lose. What a shame to lose the.
Look, we love you, President Worthen. We know that you were sacrificing, and it's a tough, thankless job. But I do got to say, the meme makes sense. All of us understand the nature of the humor in that meme, and hopefully, Reese is paying attention and does not, commit the errors. What is it called? The errors of our fathers, or the wicked traditions of our fathers.
Now, the second to the most recent thing in the Discord there, Carden, actually is... Oh,
I see it.
This was nixed. The new President Reese came in and decided not to change the motto of BYU to "Go forth to smash the patriarchy," which was President Worthen's choice for the new BYU motto, but that was nixed. So good things are happening. Poor
President Worthen. We're making him out to be some kind of scold.
I got 100 President Worthen.
Wow.
Memes.
So you're really, so here I am saying, the poor guy was getting bullied and he just was too nice to be brave. cave, and here you are like, he's leading the hordes to the gates and showing them the secret passage. He's in on it with the Turks.
Dude, like I literally have dozens and dozens and dozens of memes about President Worthen because I just sat back and watched my alma mater thinking, where are the adults? But so anyways, we have good hopes for President Reese. One of the things that he has done is the new UNIV 101 course.
Okay.
UNIV 101 course. So this was in the news about a year ago. No, 6 months ago or so. BYU is now going to have a new course for all incoming freshmen, required. Everybody has to go take this course, and it's called UNIV 101, and there's about 25 students in each section, and it's essentially like welcome to life is kind of like the whole subject of the class. Like, here's how you do life. And they're going to talk about like reading your syllabi and scheduling courses and where to find the testing center and where to find your counselor and things.
The things they should have had like 20 years ago.
Yes, honestly. And I hear that, and some people were like laughing. They're like, oh, what these, come on, they should be able to find on their own. These kids can't find, their way around. And I was like, I was one of those kids once. I would have loved this class.
By the way, can they have balancing your checkbook, or actually balancing your bank account now? Because it's not a checkbook. They should have changing the oil in your car as part of this, as well as, I don't know, how to not do a cringy pickup line in the Wilk. You know what I'm saying? That would be super helpful as well.
They should play Kwaku's Guide to Picking Up on BYU Girls.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to this article right here. Okay, the article that should be read with the Musket-Fire talk, so you see the masterclass in just how ideologically driven these woke schools are. And this is really sad because you talk about alma maters. NBC is my alma mater, man. I used to have an NBC Uni email address. I was in the club.
Oh, really?
Man. I worked for NBC Universal. Yeah, this is heartbreaking. Usually they're more well measured, and it does really come down ultimately. It does really come down ultimately to the individual writer many times, because editors can only do so much to control what's going on. And also a lot of these news organizations have been seriously strapped. You know what I'm saying?
Does anybody think Cardin is probably a vampire? Anybody in the comments? Is Cardin a vampire? I swear he's mentioned like 50 careers that he's had. I'm not sure you can have this many careers. I think Cardin's about my age, and I don't know how he's managed to have like 50 careers. If he's a vampire, put it in the comments.
No, this is actually when I was single, before I met Brittany, before everything I did at WABC and everything I did at NBC Universal was all when I was single. Super fun story though. It's very not glamorous, bro. This was nothing glamorous. But I was indeed an employee of NBC Universal, which interestingly enough actually made me a General Electric employee as well. Because General Electric owns NBC Universal. So one of my friends who was like the HR manager for General Electric was able to look up my employee file in the General Electric system, which was really funny. So anyway,
you tell those guys that who wrote this one? Who wrote this?
I don't know. We'll look it up.
Emmy Tran is her name, or his name.
So anyway, here's the article right here. Let's just analyze the article really fast. It says BYU now requires incoming students to read controversial Musket-Fire speech. The 2021 address, which defends marriage as the union of a man and a woman, called on members of the Mormon Church to defend its teachings with musket-fire. Now, that is the first disingenuous reference right there. Had you read the speech or listened to it, you would know that he said those who built the temple carried in their left hand a trowel and in the right hand, a musket. So they had, this is my Mormon battalion musket. Yeah, it's pretty sick, bro. Actually,
dude, that is sick.
So side note, it's got LDS. If you can zoom in, let me see if I can get into.
Are you gonna fire it off on this episode?
No. It's non-functional. It's non-functional.
I think it's appropriate if you shot it.
So you can see LDS stamped in there. That's actually this is a Mormon battalion musket.
Dude, that's amazing.
The Mormon Battalion March. Yeah. We're actually making a Trowels and Muskets award that we're going to give out to people. So it just happens to be sitting here. So yeah, great prop and awesome prop for this subject. So anyway, getting back to the original the original claim here. He said, have in your left hand a trowel, in your right hand a musket. And the trowel was for building the temple, obviously, brick by brick, line upon line, precept upon precept. And then the musket was for defending the kingdom from the anti-Mormons and the people that killed us, like they killed us at Han's massacre, like they killed us during the Mormon War, like they came after us during the Battle of Nauvoo, that there are those that would do us harm, both intellectually and physically. And so while you build the kingdom with your left hand, you have to defend the kingdom with your right hand. It was a beautiful analogy given by a man who through tears was crying from the stage, pledging to the students, confirming to the students, telling the students how many hours they deliberated on how they can try and make the university more inclusive and more loving of all of its members that may feel like they don't fit in, so on and so forth. So to represent this in an article as simply the Musket-Fire speech, not the trowels and muskets speech. Yeah. All right. And to say that, oh, the Mormon church is calling on everybody to defend its teachings with Musket-Fire. No, it's calling on them to build the kingdom with one hand and defend the kingdom with another. This is a very disingenuous representation, and it's shameful that NBC would stoop this low. So, I'll just read the article so these people don't feel misrepresented. LGBTQ students and advocates at Brigham Young University slammed the school for requiring all freshmen to read a controversial 2021 speech that they say incited violence and hatred against the queer community. First off, show me proof.
Yes.
Show me proof.
Yes.
I'm sick and tired of these claims. I'm sick and tired of these claims where people have to twist statistics and stand on the graves of suicide victims and try and make these connections that are not supported by any other science elsewhere. We've done all of these talks with Jeff Benyon. We've done all of these talks with Timber Harward. We've done all of these talks with the outreach programs. We've done all of these talks with North Star, with what's Timber's group again? A Blue Lighthouse or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
All of the LGBTQ youth in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints enjoy almost across all measurable quantifiers, a 2 to 4 times better chance at success. All right.
Yes.
And being well
they're
adjusted.
Happier, they're more well adjusted. Everything.
Better physical health, better mental health, better sense of community, so on and so forth, than all of their secular or inactive counterparts across the board. And
now, if you notice in this article, Carden, now you'll notice this.
Okay.
Every paragraph has like a link to the claims that they're making, except for that one. When it says they say incited violence and hatred against the queer community, there is no...
Show me the hate crime committed. Show me the guy that showed up with a musket and beat his gay roommate with the butt of a non-functional rifle. Show me the trowel stuck in the throat of, I don't know, some radical feminist. You know,
Jeez,
like this.
Wow.
Yeah, well, it's like, seriously, like if I'm tired of, this is the 1-2 boomer punch. This is what all the cry bullies know they can do. If they don't like something, and if there's some rule that they feel somehow they don't like because they're either trying to score clout online, or maybe it just makes them feel uncomfortable and they want to be able to, I don't know, do what they want to do instead of what the university says. All right. First off, I wish they'd do this for mustaches in the honor code when I was there, because I thought that was super cringe. I would have loved to get rid of the shaving rule. You know what I'm saying? I wish these people would do this 1-2 punch on the honor code for the silly shaving rule that they had there. But anyway, they think, oh, we don't like that thing. Great. All I have to do is say, I don't feel that thing is inclusive and I'm going to go inactive if I don't get it, or there's going to be violence incurred upon me because people are going to take this out of context. Therefore, you need to get rid of it because it is a threat to me. And all of these boomers that worship niceness culture, the false idol of niceness culture, the cry bullies mop the floor with them. They just mop the floor with them. And literally
Kevin Worthen.
Oh yeah. So anyway, here's what they do.
So in the second section down, emboldening violence and hate. So here we're going to circle this back so you can see how this process works. Okay. So they say, oh my gosh, this is going to incite violence. They write this article. It's got a big headline. It's out on the news, right? Some guy typed this out. NBC News. This is members of BYU's community have criticized the inclusion of the speech in the curriculum, they say that it has caused, and then they quote a tweet. It has caused considerable mental, physical, and emotional harm, has been used to justify acts of violence. And then it goes down to this big Instagram post that the Rainbow Collective, which is a LGBTQ plus advocacy group at BYU, the Rainbow Collective, they post this saying that people have felt unsafe. They're feeling unsafe because of the speech. Now, here's the trick, okay? In the end, this entire article is written about what a couple students at BYU felt made them unsafe. There's nothing happened, nothing changed, nothing was said, nothing was done. There was no actual violence committed. And they just kind of felt like they were less safe. And NBC's like, we should write an article about that. That's news.
But this is how pernicious these groups are. And like a few weeks ago, members of the Rainbow Collective were shocked to learn, that's a pretty big word, shocked, to learn that President Holland's speech, second half of the century, commonly referred to as the Musket-Fire speech. Yeah, no, not commonly referred to, is actually,
yes,
you guys coined that term, okay?
Yes.
Would be included in the curriculum of the new University Foundation class, a requirement for all freshmen. This decision is deeply concerning. While we appreciate Dr. Rich Osgathorpe's willingness to engage in the discussion on this matter, we feel compelled to express our reservations. Okay, well, do you want to use well-measured words like reservation and speak about your reservations and be an adult about this? Or do you want to just say you're shocked and be a crybaby? Let's go to the right and see what else they have to say, and we'll see. Are they being well-measured human beings that are participating in a conversation, or are they just going to be shock jocks? Well, it says the use of this speech, which was originally intended for staff and faculty, has significant implications for queer students, suggesting they do not belong in fostering an unsafe environment. I'm sorry, but that is the absolute most garbage twisting of words. As President Holland, not President Holland, sorry, Elder Holland, through tears, was telling students and faculty, love each other, be there for each other, fulfill the mission statement of this university. We have spent hours deliberating how we can make people feel more comfortable at BYU. So first off, half of his references were not explicitly about LGBTQIA students. Everybody just assumes that's what it is because that's the control group of not the control group.
Well, because
that's what controls the conversation now.
Because in the speech, he happened to also mention our traditional view of marriage as being between a man and a woman.
Yes. So you guys aren't the only ones that in their teenage years may feel uncomfortable going through a difficult college experience on foreign soil. I was from Southern California. Culture here is wildly different. I remember the first time I went to the Provo Mall after 6 months of not smoking, and I smelled somebody's cigarette, and I was like, for some reason, it triggered the smell of home. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I was like, oh, whoa, yeah, I forgot where I was for a while. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yes, all of us are fish out of water when we go to college. And it's not just you. Imagine that I had a Nigerian roommate. I had a Jordanian roommate. I had kids from South America. You know, there might be some radical feminist that feels a little bit out of place as well when all of a sudden she's in the Pacific Mountain West, right? I mean in the Mountain West, it's the Pacific Northwest where you are, or the Mountain West where BYU mountains. Is. So anyway,
we got mountains.
So then
we
they continue.
Volcanoes,
yeah. So then she continues saying, this group continues by saying, by insinuating that queer students lie outside the boundaries of the university's mission and vision. Lie.
No, that's
These
not at
people
all
are
what
liars.
he said. Not at all what he said. If you listen to Jeff Benyon, you go back and listen to our interview with Jeff Benyon and Timber Harvard. This is a myth. You are not being told you don't belong by Elder Holland and by the church. You're being told you don't belong by people who hate the church.
Yes,
Those
like
are the people
Rainbow Collective. Rainbow Collective, I'll tell you right now, there is no way these people are pro-LDS. There is no way. Okay? What's Rainbow Collective's background? This is not an official BYU cache. Oh man, I click on it, says, sorry, this page isn't available. Dang it, it's been taken down.
I thought they were, are they I thought they were a...
I just clicked on it right now. So who knows?
Group at BYU.
You know, maybe it's been taken down. Who knows? It might be in response to this.
It says there are members of the BYU community, LGBTQ students and faculty.
Well, look, when I click on it right there, bro, look, go back to the article. And when I click on view profile, boom, it just says, sorry, this page isn't available.
Look, Gracie Purcell and all your friends. You do belong in the church. You do belong at BYU. We want you there. We love having you there. The people who tell you don't belong are liars. They hate the church and they hate BYU. Don't listen to them. You've been fed by people like NBC News and woke idiots like John DeLynn. They say that you are not welcome or something. And that speech was about you. It was shrouded language about how we don't want you at our university. That is bull. That is not true at all.
You know what? I want you to read. I want them to get back. I would print out this statement by the Rainbow Collective, and I would also put it in the folder with the Musket-Fire talk, because look, they continue. By insinuating that queer students lie outside the boundaries of the university's mission and vision, lie. The speech perpetuates harm and undermines efforts to foster a sense of belonging. BS. BYU has so bent over backwards for every activist organization on that campus. They now call the Honor Code Office no longer the Honor Code Office. What's it called?
The Office of Belonging?
The Office of Belonging. Yeah. So committed to your asinine definition that knows no end. The critics of the church, the inclusiveness police, are so never satisfied that even after literally changing the name of the Honor Code Office to the Office of Belonging, these people say, oh no, because you have a view of traditional marriage or because you have any sense of rules at all against the face of postmodernist chaos, all right, then we don't belong. You're fostering an idea that we don't belong and we don't have belonging. They named the office after you.
Yeah, right. They changed the name.
They're allowing you to tear down statues of anybody historical in our country and practically building one with your name on it. And you're still saying we don't have sense. Literally, they could have the Gay Pride Festival in the Quad. They could have Live Loud 2024 in the center of the Harold B. Lee Library. And these people would still come out and say, oh, it doesn't foster a sense of belonging. In fact, one of the most hilarious pranks that we could do is let's hold a gay pride party next year. We'll have Kwaku get a mass gathering permit for the gay pride party to be on BYU's campus, but we'll just call it something else, like Orrin Porter Rockwell's birthday or something, just to prove, if we just don't give it a name, just to see how many of these organizations come out and say, we're fearful of this event. It could literally, Donald Trump could cure cancer. Right. Donald Trump could cure cancer. They'd still find a way to call the curing of cancer racist. And BYU could literally have a gay pride parade in the Harold B. Library that marched straight up to the administration building, and they'd find a way to call it anti-LGBTQIA++++.
Yeah, it's true. The simple fact is, Gracie and everybody listening to this, is that Elder Holland and the leaders of the Church of Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ himself teach you, okay, that your worth was already founded by God before you were ever born.
Dude, look at
nothing
this.
can take it away, okay? And so who cares if you think other people might be looking at me or thinking, who cares? Who cares? Even if they were, which I don't think they are, but even if they were, it wouldn't matter. Your worth is eternal. And so they're the ones telling you, don't base your worth off what other people are thinking or saying or whatever. Don't obsess over it. Don't look at how many likes or how many clicks or whatever. Screw all that stuff. You belong at BYU, okay? The people telling you don't belong are the people who hate BYU. Yes. And NBC, look, you can't write, you're just going to write an article because some students wrote a tweet.
Dude, look at
this. That's your article? That's your
look
news?
At this, though. And by the way, this was no small account. It has 6,000 subscribers at the time before it was taken down. But look, it says, moreover, the speech has caused considerable mental, physical, and emotional harm and has been used to justify acts of violence. First off, I call BS. Show me the person, again, with a trowel stuck in the side of their neck and the note that says, Elder Holland says hi. You know what I'm saying? Second off, considerable mental and emotional harm. Yeah, 90% of that's coming from you guys trying to force feed into any new student who might be questioning his sexuality in 2024. You're trying to force feed him this BS that every apostle in the church, his roommates, and all of the students at BYU hate him because, see this speech that was written. Yeah, let me feed you the straw man version thereof and tell you how hated you are. Like, these people dance on the graves of the unspeakable and traffic in the worst human misery I have zero respect for these guys. So we urge reconsideration, exploration of alternative messaging that promotes unity and respect for all members of the BYU community, which means shut up, quit saying things we don't like, only we're allowed to talk, and the heckler's veto rules. So if
heckler's veto rules.
If this Shane Reese cat, all right, does nothing more than say, sorry, no more heckler's veto. If that's all Shane Reese has to do, he doesn't have to be some based firebrand. He doesn't have to freaking be Jordan Peterson, who's giving lectures on why the book of Exodus is like the single most influential part of Western literature. The only thing he has to do is just be fair. Say, okay, if a liberal wants to come and speak on campus, guess what? Conservative gets to speak. Oh, and by the way, no, sorry. Everybody here has equal voice. We're all children of God. If you got an opinion about something, that's fine, but no more heckler's veto. No more getting to no more getting to go on campus and embarrass your fellow students in order to look cool for internet clout. And by the way, no more being able to just, cry bully your way in or out of an argument. Okay. The heckler's veto, dunzo. That now was 2019.
There's an option. Okay.
Yes,
for people like, if there's people at BYU who don't feel like they belong and they don't want to use the tithing money of some poor Filipino widow to get subsidized tuition like Sebastian, fine. If you don't want to do that and you want to go, there's another university just north of there called University of Utah. Now in the Discord, we've put University of Utah. This is also amazing. This is coming out right now. This is amazing. In order to make their students feel like more like they belong, Cardin, there's a little photograph we have of the student of the big quad outside at University of Utah.
University of Utah?
Where they just erected the statue of Equalagon, God of Equity. It's going to feature flaming eyes, an altar for child sacrifice, and a small stage for the campus glee club for performances. It's very, very cool. It's a 20-foot tall mangled steel and glass statue, and the eyes, they burn 24 hours a day. So if you don't feel like you belong at BYU, you can always head up to University of Utah, and Equalagon, God of Equity, will be welcoming you there.
Gosh.
There's other places that you can go. Look, the problem, guys.
Did you do that one right now? Because that wasn't in the Discord before.
Dude, I'm just reading the news. Okay.
Okay.
But the BYU is a private university. It's a private university. Get it through your head. It's a private university. The church can do whatever it wants with it.
Well, we do hold it to a higher standard being a church university, that it should be inclusive, but by the real definition of the word. All children of God, wanted, allowed, come forth to learn, go forth to serve. Like,
there's lots of places you can go and take your advocacy and do a lot of good. If you want to go to Siberia, where I served my mission, where they actually do commit heinous acts of violence.
Dude, I've donated to the Rainbow
LGBT
Road
community.
I've donated to Rainbow Road. Yeah, which I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's a charity that helps kind of smuggle people who have been outed in areas where there's like a death sentence. Okay. And
wow.
Yeah. So dude, look, as much as I disagree with everything that like the LGBTQIA lobby has become, being the bully that it fought against in the Stonewall riots, dude, we shouldn't be tossing these people off roofs. All right. We shouldn't be stoning women for fornication. Let's hold on. There's places that do this. And look, if your life is threatened because of your sexual orientation, then yeah, let's get them out of here. But I'm sorry, you don't get to just say like, oh, some internet troll said one thing once somewhere, and now the
breaking news. We know they do it. And look, Gracie is stretching her muscles to be an advocate for people who are downtrodden. That's good. We need you, Gracie. Problem is, you're at BYU. BYU is actually a very inclusive place. We have people from all over the world. Heck, half the campus is like trilingual. Okay. You could do a lot of good in places like Saudi Arabia, or Dubai, or Russia, or China, where they actually do horrible things to the downtrodden and minorities. They need you there, okay? It's not that we don't need you in this world. It's that you're in the most inclusive, loving, Christ-like place, and you act like it's Selma, Alabama, and you're marching across the bridge, and there's pit bulls biting children, and you're being sprayed with fire hoses. You're not. You're not.
Dude, this is crazy. So, and the fact NBC would do this without providing maybe I'm just scarred because like I kind of view NBC as my alma mater. They're my very first job in entertainment This
is what passes for a news article.
But look
somebody
at this.
tweets
Purcell
something.
described numerous instances in which she and members of her community felt unsafe on BYU's campus. What were you surrounded by the football team?
You felt unsafe? That's not news. Sorry.
Well, tell me what it is. I have had recent experiences where I have been in physically unsafe situations where protesters have showed up to my events open carrying weapons, she said. Okay. Well, that's actually, finally, they gave us a tangible that we can deal with.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Weapons? What weapon? Like what?
Well, Utah
like a sign?
Okay. So here's
like
the deal.
What?
Here's my problem. Okay. So now we're starting to get into the GUN argument, and I'm very big tent on that. Okay. You get what I'm saying? I'm very big tent.
Yeah. We don't even know what it was. It could have been a sign. And she's like,
well, yeah, I have a problem with people saying, okay, these woke scolds, okay, and it seems like this woman Purcell is a woke scold, all the time think that, silence is violence, but protest, that's a beating. You know what I'm saying? And they can protest all day long, but the second you give them a minor bit of pushback, they just freak out. Because as Thomas Sowell said, there's people in this country that are so used to preferential treatment. When they get equal treatment, they cry foul, right? So I don't know if she's doing that and she's being disingenuous just because, you got protested once? Welcome to the party. I haven't been able to go to church because I haven't been able to get past protesters, all right? So, first off, welcome to fair treatment in a democracy where you're allowed all those free speech laws that you've been abusing for 20 years to, cry bully your way in and out of whatever situation you wanted to. So she's either being disingenuous, or I can see, because sometimes it's annoying. I've gone to church. I'm not going to name the city, but it rhymes with Manish Mork. So I've been into church. I'm just kidding. I've been into church in some of these places where it's like you get dudes, because it's an open carry state, open carrying and sacrament meeting. And as much as I'm all about protecting your congregation from the ravages of some psychopath that would like to engage in a mass event, shall we say, do you got to have an 1856 six-shooter like that looks like Doc Holliday was just shining the brass on it, 5 minutes ago, before you put it on the leather holster that smells like a saddle 3 rows over, and then get up and bear your testimony with a 6-inch barrel sticking down to your kneecaps? Like, really, bro? You couldn't find
a little much.
Like, you couldn't go get your CCW and find a tasteful wallet holster or something. What I'm saying?
It's a little bit much.
So I could see why somebody from a more blue state that is unaccustomed to open carry would be taken off guard, and they might be genuine in that instance. So I reserve judgment. I mean, I reserve judgment on this last statement, but I'm just saying, everything else here seems disingenuous to me, and I'm happy that the university is choosing to do this.
Huge. Yes.
It's huge. And I'm happy that it seems like, because this article didn't really seem to get too much traction, I'm happy to see that the 1-2 cry bully punch of declare it unsafe, declare it unwelcoming, show that, use nebulous terms like harmful. I'm happy now that it seems like the university is like, okay, first off, enough with the hyperbole, prove it. B, enough holding the humanity of the administration of the fellow students hostage until they believe whatever, or they go along with whatever postmodernist and culturally Marxist demands you make. Okay, those days are over. And thirdly, I think this actually does not go far enough. I think they should read the entire Musket-Fire speech, as well as every disingenuous interpretation thereof that followed it.
Yep. They should require, in that class, UNIV 101, they should require WardRadio. You need to go watch WardRadio debunkings. That's what you should do. I'm just saying. Look, it's an idea out there. Mr. Oscarson, I think is his name. Professor Oscar. No, he's the Associate Dean of Undergrad Education. Chip Oscarson. Look, we know you watch, Chip. We know you watch. Okay.
Yeah.
And you love the channel. We know you remember the channel. All right. So, just require a little bit of WardRadio to be watched. We'll provide clips for free. We'll provide clips. We will do an episode for the UNIV 101 class to tell them how to get by at BYU. Dude. They actually say, in all seriousness, that the UNIV 101 class is a roaring success. They say that it's actually awesome, and it really does help students prepare for the university and do well, because BYU really cares. Gracie, they care about you too, and they love you, and we need you. We need you to go to places where LGBT people are actually really persecuted and really help them. We need you to do that. People like you, Gracie. And we need everybody listening to this episode to go listen to.
I don't know if I would wish an American woke scold on anybody.
We could use them in Russia. We could use them in Russia, man.
I haven't been to Russia, man. I did my mission in Argentina. But like, I don't know if I'd wish these people on anybody, but you know, go for it, dog. Go for it. But I trust you.
The other thing is everybody needs to listen to the second half of the second century of Brigham Young University. That's the name of the talk. The second half of the second century of Brigham Young University by Jeffrey R. Holland. Fantastic talk. It's 40 minutes. You can skip the first 10 minutes. He's just working the crowd. Excellent talk about the mission of BYU and how we need to defend our beliefs because it's the truth and it deserves to be defended. So
rock on. Okay, sweet. Awesome. Anyway, yeah. Guys, let us know where we go wrong. Let us know if you think the reign of woke scold terror is over, or if, you know, somebody else is going to pick up the torch and run with it. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments below. As always, for this and more, please make sure you check us out at WardRadio.com.
This is going to be the best day ever. This is going to be the best day ever. Wake up, top of the morning, the bacon is crispy, the coffee is pouring, my meditation is peeling an orange, the bank says I'm already scoring. I got a parking spot right outside, step into my brand new ride, all we ever get is